Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Always Compete Seahawks podcast. I am Mike. That is Sam. And today is Valentine's Day, the number one worst day in America for single people. So if you are single today, I hope this video brings you some joy. If not, then I'm sorry. Congratulations on having a girlfriend, I guess. Loser. Anyway, in the spirit of Valentine's Day and love, we thought that we would go through a video today of our free agents and decide if we're going to sign or pass. A little spin on a popular game many of you guys might have played.
That I will not be mentioned.
That we will not mention. But it's a spin on a game. No need. So essentially how this is going to work is we have a slideshow presentation of all of the Seahawks impending free agents this offseason.
Major
impending free agents. And we are going to decide, do we sign them? And then we will talk about how much, and we'll give even a number score out of 10 of how much we want to re-sign them. Or if we're going to pass and we're going to say, nah, we're good. All right. You ready to get started, Sam?
I'm ready to go.
All right. Contestant number one is Dwayne Brown.
Dwayne Brown.
Sam, are you signing or are you passing Dwayne Brown?
Well, like you said, I'm going to rate on a scale. I'm going to say a 6.5.
I think that's a fair score. I think that's a fair score.
And I'm personally going to say sign.
Sign? Okay. What would you give him other than chocolates and flowers for Valentine's? What would you give him?
I'm going to say I'll give him a 1-year deal.
Okay.
Probably worth around $8.5 to $10 million.
$8.5 to $10 million. I would have to agree with that. I'd say probably a 6 for me as well. I would probably give him $8 to $10 million on a 1-year deal, because what you guys will find out in our video tomorrow that you guys will see is we did a mock draft and we put a big emphasis on offensive tackle in the draft. So probably have Dwayne Brown for another year and then let those guys develop. I would totally agree with that. I think that we should sign Dwayne Brown 6 out of 10 and then sign him to a 1-year $8 to $10 million. I think that is very fair. All right. We're going to move on for contestant numero dos. We got Quandary Digs.
Quandary.
I think this is a unanimous decision.
I'm going to say a 10.
I'm going to say a 10 as well. I mean, you absolutely cannot pass this man. One of the best safeties in the league. Absolute train robbery when we traded him and got him out of poverty Detroit. Which, by the way, Lions fans, if you're watching, I hope you're okay after Stafford literally left and won a Super Bowl after one season. But absolutely sign this man. He wants to re-sign. He wants his contract. So
yeah, I mean, for a contract wise, I'm gonna say like 3 years.
Yeah.
$39 million.
Yeah, I'd probably give him I'd probably give him 450. 4 for 50 is what I would say. Try to keep it.
So you're talking hefty.
I'm in love with Quandary Digs, man. I am feeling the energy on Quandary Digs. I think, he's a young guy. He's talented. And we want to keep him locked up for a long time. I am in love with Quandary Digs. Definitely we want to re-sign him. Definitely, we're going to sign Quandary Diggs.
Let's go. Next up, that is big man
Gerald Everett. Now,
this is very interesting.
I think it is very interesting.
Depends who you ask.
Are you getting Gerald Everett for probably the second half of the year, or are you getting Gerald Everett against the San Francisco 49ers? If you're getting San Francisco 49ers Gerald Everett, I think we pass, we throw in the garbage, we disintegrate. Not Gerald Everett. But
disintegrate him.
just Control Z that man real quick.
Sort of Avengers Infinity War, that man.
Just snap that boy. But
Pete Carroll's like, I'm sorry, Gerald. You didn't make it.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
All right, listen. Gerald Everett, I'm gonna say a 7.5.
Ooh, that's a little high. Okay. So you're more in love with Gerald Everett. Okay.
I do like him. I do like him.
Yeah.
I like what he's able to do. I think Shane Waldron needs a little bit more time to flesh out with him. He had his moments where he was definitely meh, but in the second half of the year, Russ put a lot of trust in Gerald Everett's hands, and he was a good target for Russ, and he can do several things well. for me, I'll probably say a 2-year deal worth around maybe $12 to $13 million.
I like that because keep in mind we gave him a 1.7 last year, and I think in terms of contract values, that was pretty right on. He played like a 1 year 7 type of guy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wasn't
who else was 1 year 7? Wasn't Greg Olsen a 1 year 7 or 1 year 8?
Yeah, dude. And to see the massive, I would take Gerald Everett
I remember when Greg Olsen caught a touchdown in his first game with us. I thought that he was going to be a stud. I'm not even gonna lie.
And then he caught a touchdown for Devin McCourty in the next game. Yeah, I remember that.
He passed a touchdown to a player.
He like volleyed it to him. You know, I'm probably like a 6 out of 10 on Gerald Everett. I would like to resign him. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be upset, but I think he might be a little too expensive. I think he's gonna want 10, but if we can get him back for 214, 215, I definitely take that. I think that would be good to get your tight end locked up. And I do think he's a good receiving tight end, much better than another tight end we're gonna talk about on this list.
Pain.
But so
far everybody has been assigned.
Everybody's assigned, man. Maybe. All right. Next player we got Britton Shell. Oh, this might be my first pass.
Listen, I'm gonna pass. Not because he's not a good player. In moments where he's played for us, he's actually been an above average right tackle.
Yes.
But when Jake Curran came in because he got hurt, he played really well and the run game became incredibly dominant. I'm going to have to pass on Brandon Shell.
I am also going to have to pass on Brandon Shell. And I swear he's got a great personality. But the thing about it is,
very personality, and he's a great player too. And he's going to go somewhere.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he's going to be a good right tackle for a team.
Listen, Brandon Shell, it's me. It's not you. It's me. Okay.
Yeah, it's me.
It's actually Jake Curran.
Yeah, it's like, well, you went on vacation, and the neighbor, just
what's
started.
Up? Yo, what's up? wait, where are we going?
Mike said, "What?"
Anyway, before we get demonetized,
and the neighbor just started, what's it called? What's an appropriate word? No, but all right, next, let's go.
Start playing catch in the backyard, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. Let's go.
I love somebody else, and I'm sorry, Brandon Shell, but I'm in love with Jake Curran, so I'm gonna pass on Brandon Shell, unfortunately. Oh, my heart, 100 out of 10. What's met? I mean, sign. I'm
gonna say 8.5.
I'm gonna give it a 10.
And here's the thing about Rashad Penny. Here's what I'm really, really worried about. We get in a bidding war with one or two other teams. We bring him back, and he gets hurt immediately.
Yeah.
Because we saw that glimpse of what he can be like if he's not hurt.
Best running back in the league, legitimately best running back in the league.
Yeah, he averaged more yards after contact than Jonathan Taylor did yards per carry in the last 6 games of the season or whatever. He had more yards after contact than Jonathan Taylor had at all. The 2 leading rushers in the league were Rashad Penny and Rashad Penny after contact. It was unreal. Sam knows this, and I've known Sam, for about a year and a half now. The whole time I've known Sam, I have been high on the Rashad Penny team. I've loved his talent, but the man can't stay on the field, and that's what I'm really concerned about.
And I totally will admit I am the biggest Rashad Penny fanboy there is, and I've been like that way forever. I do agree with the injury thing. The injury thing is a concern. He really hasn't been able to put it together other than the second half of the year this year. However, if he can stay healthy and you can add that type of a running back to the Seattle Seahawks, right? Because again, we've been good at making the playoffs with Russell Wilson, but we've fallen apart post LOB because we couldn't have defense and we couldn't stay on the field, right? Our time of possession would be 20 minutes a game. We need a guy who can carry the load, who has big explosive runs. That's a problem with Chris Carson. He really isn't an explosive type of guy.
Yeah, Chris Carson's a yards after he's
a 3 yards carry. He's a 3 yards in a cloud of dust kind of guy. Rashad Penny is an explosive runner. He's powerful. He's fast. I am in love with Rashad Penny.
Yeah.
I would give him, but again, another problem is those
Listen,
running back contracts don't work out a lot.
to me, with the contract, you cannot commit to him long term. I say you max it out at a 2-year deal when you're talking a running back contract, because
I would say, yeah,
it's
2 or 3.
it's such a risk. Unless if you're going out and you're getting like a Derrick Henry or a Christian McCaffrey, a guy who is a game changer when he's on the field. Ironically enough, Christian McCaffrey has not been able to stay on the field.
Even Christian McCaffrey, yeah, he just got hurt.
Yeah, but guys that are bona fide game changers, you give them big contracts. You do not give big contracts to the guys who are going to make your team slightly better than they are now.
Hear me out. And you're probably going to call me crazy. 330.
No way. No way.
I would almost give him 330, dude. I would almost give him 330 because that's the thing. Will he probably get hurt?
You're telling me that
I would. $10 million a year for Rashad Penny for 3 years. If he can stay healthy, that is
I don't.
That is a bargain.
I don't think so. I think you max it out at 2 years, 16.
Okay. So
that's max.
We're both on the train of re-sign him. We both would like him
re-sign. However, I'm much more cautious
because
we just saw what happened with Chris Carson. I thought the Chris Carson deal was a great contract.
Ironically, I think it's a great contract. I didn't like the Chris Carson deal. You did. I'm liking.
Well, no. I liked the Chris Carson deal because it was a relatively non-committal contract.
Yeah.
On a cheap deal, if he could stay healthy, and we found out that he couldn't stay healthy.
I really do wonder what's going on with Chris Carson. Like that neck thing. That neck thing is scary.
Yeah, necks are.
That's the reason Bam. That's the reason Bam Cam retired.
Bam retired. Yeah.
So obviously,
did Cliff Averill retire because of a neck too?
I think it was a neck and like an age thing because he'd been in the
neck
league
and back. I think it was for
Averill.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean necks are scary. Let's move on to the next one.
All right, so we're gonna sign Rashad Penny. Contestant number 6, 5.
Yes,
I can't count.
6, 5, whatever.
I'm too sad to count today.
Al Woods.
Big boy Al Woods.
First off, look at those pretty eyes. How could you not sign this man?
Teeth. I mean, come on. That facial hair. I don't know what that is, but that is awesome. It's dope. Al Woods, for those of you who don't know, came back this year.
I say is a definite sign for me.
I think it's a sign too. Came back this year, had a career rejuvenation, if that's the right way to say that word, with the Seahawks.
Was flat out dominant in some games.
Against the run was a menace. I thought he played really, really well.
Everybody remembers the Houston game where he's on the ground, he's pumping his fists up in the air. Everybody remembers that.
I thought he played really, really well given the role that he was. Because he's not a guy that's going to get you 10 sacks a game, but he's a guy that's going to, be the big body up the middle to plug the run and occasionally rush the passer. So I would like it. He is old. He is older.
Yeah, I'd say like a 1 year, like 6.
I was thinking, like
1 year 6, 1 year 5. Yeah. No, I don't think 2. I don't know. I'd be a little cautious.
I would give him. I'd probably give him 1, 1, 5.
And worth noting, I know some people are probably going to say this in the comments. Brian Monet is a free agent, but he's an RFA, so basically means that he's not a free agent in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and he's not like a big name, so it's like I really doubt we're going to get in a bidding war with Brian Monet.
Well, no, Brian Monet is a restricted free agent.
Oh,
so we can just tender him. We can just throw him on a tender, and
he'd
have to sign. So we're fine. Al Woods sign. Simple as that.
I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. That'd be my score.
7 or an 8.
7 or 8 out of 10. All right.
Yeah.
Next contestant.
Sidney Jones.
Okay. This is another case of a guy that I fell in love with. And I think as the season went on and he became more comfortable, I think he played a lot better.
Good thing is also, I think we could get this guy in a bargain.
Yeah, I really don't think teams are clamoring for Sidney Jones, to be honest.
I think if you can get him, first off, on a sign scale, I'd give like a 7 or an 8 because he really came on well at the end of the year.
I'll give it an 8 because the corner is especially in need of position of worry. And if we could sign this guy and he's a stud, then I think that works out really well.
I'd say if you can get him for like 2 years 8, 2 years 9.
I would try to even go 3 or 4 because if he's a corner, right, and he's really good, then if we can.
Do you want to commit to that? Because there is some guys. I saw somebody say the Seahawks should sign Carson Davis from the Bucks.
Okay.
So I do realize that in this situation we're committing a lot of money to in-house names.
Right.
So let's be realistic here. How much money are we going to spend?
I would try to give him a 3 or 4 year deal. And the reason for that is let's just say next year he turns into a stud, right? We won't be able to re-sign him in free agency. So I think if we give him a long-term deal, we're banking on the fact that he could become really, really good. Again, we have our good defensive coach, Sean Desai. I think having a lockdown corner for cheap is one of the best things you can have in this league. And I think he has the potential to be really, really good. I'd probably give him a 315, 318.
You could probably get him for 4, honestly. I mean, cheap
4,
corners are cheap. Last year, we got Akello for 5.
Yeah. You think
he's not going to be that expensive.
You think 420 is probably the way to go?
Well, maybe in California, but I don't think. How about let's go to next? So sign Sidney Jones. Is what we're saying. Jones. I think we need to be a bit more stingy on who we sign.
Yeah, we do. We definitely need to start basing it. We need to.
Rasheem. This is a tough one.
It's very tough.
He had 6.5 sacks this year.
Another thing.
And by the way, worth mentioning, I went back as soon as Clinton Hurt was signed by the Seahawks as DC. I went back and watched his old stuff. And there was an interview from him earlier in the year in the preseason with Rasheem, where he talked about Rasheem Green. And he talked about how much he loved Rasheem Green and how he felt he really finally got comfortable in the role he was in. Clinton Hurt's now the DC. Maybe just worth mentioning there.
Okay, another thing to mention, since you gave a more optimistic point of view, I'm going to be a little more pessimistic. We, in our draft, also emphasized edge rushers.
Yep. But I think Rasheem is viewed by them as an interior guy. I think he's viewed as a 3-tech, maybe even a 2-tech.
True. We did just re-sign Al Woods.
Yeah,
and Monet.
Definitely he might be our best interior pass rushing option.
I think he's the guy who you bring in on like third down to rush the passer. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it really all depends on the contract. I mean, do you think we can do like 2 years, 5? He's not going to get that much money. Maybe 2 years, 6, 2 years, 7.
I do 2.6. I do 2.6 or 2.7. I do that.
He's going to be cheap.
Yeah, I would do that. I think. Yeah, and for 6.5 sacks, I mean, come on, that's about as good as you can get. So, although we need to be more stingy, I'm going to sign Rasheem Green. I give it contract. 5 out of 10.
Small contract at 5 or 6 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next contestant. Pass.
Will Dissly pass. Next.
Nah, bro. Pass.
Listen, no hate to Will Dissly. He's a cool guy, but we just re-signed Gerald Everett, and he hasn't really done anything recently to prove that he deserves.
Also, another thing, I want to see Colby Parkinson get more reps.
Yes, please.
I mean, the dude is like
that catch against Arizona, and it left me salivating for more. It left me salivating.
Isn't he like 6'6" with long hair?
Like 6'7", long hair. I mean, come on,
that's just badass.
Will's basically balding. Can't happen.
Ooh, DJ Reed.
I think this is the last one too.
This is a sign, in my opinion.
But money, though, do you think he's gonna get like 7 or 8?
I don't know what he'll get, to be honest with you.
I think he's going to get a bag. I think he's going to go for 7 or 8.
Okay, if this is a situation last year with like Shaquille Griffin where like some team wants to pay him an exuberant amount of money, then let him walk.
First off, nice word. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
It's a nice word.
I think that's like at least an 8th grade level vocab word that I used correctly in a sentence, so props to me.
Yeah.
But again, if he's wanting a metric ton of money, and we can't match that, I wouldn't chase him. This is not a guy I think you chase.
Yeah. DJ Reed is a very confident player.
He is a very confident player.
Corners in general are very confident players.
However, he has undoubtedly been our best corner the past 2 to 3
He's been our best corner. In my opinion, it comes down to you either sign DJ Reed or you sign Sidney Jones.
You think it's one or the other?
Because you got to leave that door open to Trey Brown. The only reason Sidney Jones got any time is because Trey Brown got hurt.
You're saying, well, yeah, and it was before Trey came in as a rookie, and then after he got hurt. So you're saying our corner room would be DJ, Trey, and then whoever we sign.
Ugo,
and whoever we
Marquise Blair
put at nickel,
and then listen. I think Sidney Jones could work, but I think that. This is a team that's coming off of a 7 and 10 year. do you really want to go out and spend almost all your money on bringing old guys back in?
So you would go with Sydney because he's younger?
I think I'll go DJ.
Okay.
But once again, it all varies on money. I think if DJ wants more than 8, I think we have to let him go.
See, I don't think Sydney will get a bag. I don't think DJ will get a bag, but I do think
he'll get paid. He might get like William Jackson money, like $10 million. He's played great the last 2 years.
I think
and
a lot of
put
teams
that all on tape.
Yeah.
Also, a sneaky one. I hate to say this, San Francisco, former team. They need secondary bad. I would not be shocked if they go out and maybe try to bring him back, because
he played well against the Niners. He's definitely played well.
The only reason they said that they cut DJ was because he tore his pec and they wanted to waive him and get him back on the practice squad.
And we swooped him up. Yeah.
And we swooped him up.
So this is would like to sign, but probably with financial constraints, probably will not.
Probably, right?
Okay. No, I could see that. Is that our last one? I think maybe we have one. Yeah, that's our last one. So
that's our last one. Yeah.
That's our Seahawks sign or pass.
In summary, we have some good stuff.
Let's go back and just say sign or pass.
Yeah.
What we decided.
So we said sign,
pass, sign, but you're iffy on it. Sign,
or
one of the two of them.
It's 50-50 for both DJ and Sydney.
Sign, pass. Get him off my field, and then 50-50 with him.
50-50. Yeah. So I mean,
there you go.
I think if we do use the contracts that we said that we signed him with, we'd have like $20-ish million in cap space for free agency without restructuring. Yeah.
We can go out and get an offensive lineman. We can go out and get a corner, like you said, Carlton Davis, maybe.
Yeah.
Would you take Carlton Davis or DJ Reed?
It depends on money.
True. Very true.
Right. So, I mean, in summary, I think that we're in a good place if we can bring back a lot of these guys. But if we're on if we're on like the second or third day of free agency and we're watching Quandary go and DJ go and Dwayne go, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, we have to totally rebuild the whole thing with guys on the outside who have no connection to us.
I think Quandary, at the very least, I really do think at the very least, Quandary will be franchise tagged.
Yeah.
I think at the very least. And that'll give him what?
Yeah.
12 million because the safeties? Is that 12 million?
Yeah. 12. You said 12 and a half. If you said what, 3 years?
No, but what would be a franchise tag?
Or 4 years, 50.
Franchise tag is 12 for safeties?
I think it's like 12 and a half, 13.
Yeah, so that's about what he's going to get, in my opinion.
Okay, so that's it. Stay tuned for a mock draft.
Yes.
And stay tuned for also more free agency content, because now that we've gotten through the guys on the team, we're going to be moving into outside free agents. Maybe expect before free agency, expect an ideal free agency from both of us, like a dream off season. So expect that. And we appreciate you guys for watching. Leave a comment with your thoughts. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.